What's up, everybody? What's up? We just saw the LSU spring game. I don't know what the hell the score was. I don't really care what the score was, but 30-29 or something like that. Doesn't really matter what the score was. LSU put on a really good spring game performance, in my opinion. They looked really, really sharp, really, really competitive, really, really strong. The lines were battling. I don't know. There's a lot to really look at and a lot to really kind of judge and take a step back from. We're going to be posting this link everywhere really quick. Let some people join in, some people who are maybe there at the stadium to kind of, get away from the action maybe and turn us on. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe they won't. Who knows? But either way, we want to give some people just a second. It isn't anymore, buddy. Thanks for watching, Brandon. How you doing, man? Is this Brandon Cox, LSU Odyssey subscriber? Badass. Hopefully. Just one second. Let me put this down. We're going to turn the game back on and kind of watch the game as we go through. Oh my gosh, look who is here with me. Look who is here with me. Look who is watching the game. Well, actually, he was sleeping during it, but now he's up. Yes, Sage is here. Sage in the flesh. So yeah, LSU spring game, there's some things that were really, really, really cool about this spring game. Is one of the more entertaining spring games I've seen in a long time. One of the more, there was something you could get out of this game watching it. There's something that you could it wasn't just, it's a pregame thing, it's a preseason, it's not going to really matter, exhibition, it doesn't matter, there was a lot to take from this game, in my opinion. Still, it's exhibition. Still, it's preseason. I understand. Not going to be, completely just bowled over by anything I've seen here. At the same time, if you're an LSU Tigers fan and you're worried about potentially a drop-off from year one under Brian Kelly to year two, you were in for a rude awakening today with a team that was more hungry. This team was hungrier than last year. They may have lost some veterans, B.J. Ojolari, Jay Ward, Micah Baskerville, Anthony Bradford. So many guys left the team to the NFL draft. Kayshon Boutte even, not so many, but maybe 6 or 7 guys, 8 guys, whatever. Point is, these are longtime LSU veterans that we've been watching as Tigers for a long time. And so it was kind of like, how will this team be without a B.J. Ojolari off the edge? How will this team be without a Jaquelin Roy up the middle? How will this team be without a Jay Ward at the back? And what we're finding out is we're going to be not only okay without some of those veteran contributors, even with such a young team, we might be an even better team in year 2 under Brian Kelly than last year. And you know what? I'm going to just say it. This is a better team. This is a deeper team. And this is a team that's more ready to compete for the SEC title. And what's crazy is we nearly won the whole thing last year. We went to Atlanta, put 30 points on Georgia. Had we not shot ourselves in the face early in that game on the blocked field goal, who knows? We had 2 quarterbacks throw for over 300 yards on them. 2 receivers go for over 150. There were some things about that game that if this goes that way, it could have been this crazy 44-40 shootout win for LSU. But we go back to the drawing board. How will LSU be in year 2 under Brian Kelly? Well, from what I'm seeing right now, they look like a hungrier team, and they look like a team that's just more aggressive, probably in better shape. They're fit. They're firing on all cylinders. What Jake Flint has done to the physical conditioning of our roster is just next level incredible. I mean, look at a guy like LT Welch. He's barely played a game in 2 years, really, with the knee injuries and the barely playing his first year. Barely played very many 1v1 reps like he did today. He had at least 6, maybe 7 targets go his way. Didn't allow a single catch. Kept stride and stride with Chris Hilton of all people. Chris Hilton, track champ, speed demon, and was able to block the passes, pass breakups. He was able to force incompletions with his coverage. I mean, that's a dude who should be kind of rusty, getting back to it. No. He looked like he was ready to actually start for LSU, LT Welch. I mean, we won't go that far, say he's going to be an automatic starter or whatever, but LT Welch looked fantastic today. We'll just say that. Was tested probably more than any other DB out there and held his own. But what are you guys wanting to talk about with this spring game? What did you guys see? What did you guys feel? What's hitting you guys over the head big time and just saying, like, this is what is really demanding my attention? This is what I really feel is important to bring up about LSU in this spring game and what it might, do for the future of LSU, what it might create in the future for LSU. I want to know all about it. I want to hear it. And we're going to be throwing in our 2 cents. I thought it was a good presentation from Aaron Murray and the SEC Plus Network crew. I thought they did a great job. Kind of funny. You see Emily Valaire-Dixon there with Joe Burrow. She's like, Joe, I'm not letting you out of my sight until I get that interview. Total professional, total awesome person. We love Emily Valaire-Dixon. She's always so great and nice to us when we are there. Which, these people don't have to be nice to me. These people don't have to be nice to really anybody, but especially someone like me, a technical outsider and all that crap. She treats me like gold every time I'm there. So does her husband, Shay. Great people. If you ever wonder about them, just just ask me, and I'm going to tell you the truth. Like, they're great people, and they're awesome. Love the Dixons, and it's kind of funny seeing her track down Joe, make sure she gets that Joe interview. I love it. Love it. I'd be doing the same. I mean, are you kidding me? I wish there had been a bigger showing from the fans today. I mean, if you're in Louisiana and you're not at that game, come on, shame on you. Shame on you. For shame, for shame. This is your Tigers. You should be there. I get that there's some people who have work and stuff like that and whatever, but I'm just, as someone who has to be clear across the country, who rarely gets to have these moments, you've got to take advantage of it. You got to be there, and it's a lesson for me, to make sure that I'm there for those type of moments, even being in my situation completely across the country. Sage, you want to be on the show? Hey, buddy. This is my son, Sage. He'll be turning 9 months on. Jeez, buddy. You want my glasses? Huh? You want my glasses? He wants my nose too. But yeah, Sage, just like Sage's madness, I really like what we saw from LSU today with the. Sorry, mind has been scrambled by this young little lad grabbing my face. Let me collect my thoughts. We had some thoughts that were, let's start this. Let's start right here. Post in the comments what you think about this LSU spring game. Then we can go into your talking points, what you guys want to talk about, but then we'll just kind of go through the thread of what I've got, and then if you guys have stuff, we'll go with that. For me, this was all about the big play potential LSU has in the passing game. I thought today maybe we would see a lot more running up the gut, a lot more running off the edge, a lot more blocking schemes, and just a lot of like double tight end, really just bullish football. And we might still be that type of offense like we were last year. But what I love to see from this LSU offensive staff, philosophically, is there seems to be an evolution. Like okay, our personnel are better at receiver this year. We've got better receivers. We got more receivers. I know it's kind of crazy to say we have a better receiving core than last year when we had Keyshawn Boutte, Jack Besh, and Jeray Jenkins as a part of it. But I just think that the potential is absolutely there, and I think they just cannot ignore. They cannot get away from it. Like last year, Brian Kelly wanted to ingrain his philosophy on the team. And he also wanted to show that, hey, everyone in the SEC, I'm not going to come down here and be, scared. I'm going to hit you in the fucking mouth. I'm going to come right at you. We're going to run it right in your face. And he even tried to do it against Georgia, which was laughable, to be honest. Did not help us whatsoever. Lost us that game, really, in a way. Just running it straight into the teeth of that defense when we were killing them, throwing the football on the outside. But I think now you see that we just have too many damn good receivers. We have too many damn good weapons on the outside. And I think the receivers from last year were so pissed off about the lack of targets, the lack of opportunities, that they can't ignore it. They can't get away from it. They have to do it. See that McDonald's thing in the background? It's from the TV. That's hilarious. Looks like just a flying McDonald's fry. Like Jimmy Page with a theremin on stage with Led Zeppelin. But anyway, you saw the big play potential from this offense. Brian Thomas Jr. going down for a bomb. Landon Ibieta making a catch, a turn, gone. Just gone. You saw repeated big plays. Malik Neighbors. There was some nice plays in the red zone. Nice touchdown throw. The first throw from Jaden Daniels to Malik Neighbors. Absolutely disgusting throw. And J.K. Johnson could have done better there on the coverage, but I mean, how much better could he have done, really, except for just getting a hand on the football? He was all over Malik. Malik just rises above, just makes that brilliant, beautiful catch. And then, Brian Thomas Jr. with another slant red zone catch right there against coverage. There was some really impressive plays in the passing game. You saw Jackson McGowan, freshman tight end, getting some plays here, getting some catches, and looking good doing it. Kyron Lacey, though. Kyron Lacey with the one-handed catch. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Lacey just, I mean, like, it was absolutely filthy. It was absolutely orgasmic what he just did. And then it wasn't just he made the catch. He made the one-handed catch, and then he frisbeed the entire team to the end zone. They could not get him to the ground. First touchdown of the game from Lacey, off the one-handed catch over the middle, and then he's mazing his way to the end zone. Incredible play from Kyron Lacey. I've been someone who's kind of said, well, the amount of drops he had last year, it pissed me off so much when you saw a guy like Jack Besh only get like 23 targets all season and hardly drop a ball, and then you saw Lacey get so much more and just be dropping passes left and right. I mean, I believe he dropped 2 consecutive third down passes his way that were gimmies that I think Besh would have caught. I think Booty would have caught. Well, I don't know. Booty was dropping some passes last year too. And so it was kind of like, whoa, what's going on here? And, I kind of thought Lacey wasn't as good as maybe people were hyping him. And I still continue to hear from some sources, some insiders saying they don't think Lacey's as good as people still hype. They feel like LSU and the staff and LSU media especially are really just hyping Lacey up a ton, trying to make him like the next Justin Jefferson, trying to make, I can see that a little, but I can also see that he's just really damn good, and you just got to give it to the guy. I mean, one-handed catch over the middle, freakish, and that's not the first time he's made a sick one-handed catch in spring. He's really showing off that he is taking that next step of his evolution in his game, and I loved what I saw. Loved what I saw from Kyren Lacey, and I wasn't the biggest Lacey fan, and I think when we met him in Atlanta, he knew that. Sage, do you just want me to hold you the whole time? He was just like not having it. But yeah, I wasn't the biggest Lacey fan. I think he knew that when we met him in Atlanta. He was very like, say what's up, and kind of looking at me like, I know. And I was like, I kind of said a few things that kind of were like, I wasn't gonna hide from it. Like, so like, yeah, I've criticized you openly, and yeah, you deserve some of it. And yeah, I'm going to stand by it, but I don't tear kids down. It's always constructive with us. For instance, we took film of Quincy Wiggins with a really bad whiff on a tackle that he should have had in the backfield, just barely in this game. We took film of West Weeks making a bad whiff on the outside, on the edge. So like, as much as you think that maybe we like love our Tigers so much that we're blind, that's just not true. If you actually read, if you actually watch our content, we might be even more critical of our Tigers than some of the LSU media guys who either are just like, it's either fire and brimstone and you're terrible and you should be off the team and kicked out of the state, never show your face in this state again, or you're a champion and a winner and a blah blah blah. Like it's either one or the other. With us, we like to keep it in reality. When guys are doing great, they're doing great, but it's like we keep the context of it. When guys are having a bad game, we keep the context of it still. That's why sometimes you don't see us have the emotional trigger happiness of some of these other media folk who just love to burn and cut people really too quick, and we just don't like to do that. Kyren Lacey is someone that we have always like kind of wondered about. Kind of thought this kid could be the next great receiver at LSU alongside Malik and Brian, or who I like to call BTJ. Could he? Would he? Will he? Might he? Should he? And right now it's looking like absolutely like who day? He's day. Like he's looking like the guy. He's looking like that either number 2 or number 3 receiver. For me, I think it goes Malik, Brian Thomas Jr., and then I think from there you can have a real intense discussion all the way through fall. I don't think it's settled now. I don't think a one-handed catch in a spring game should settle it. Let's remember, 2 years ago, Jontre Kirkland had over 200 yards in a spring game, and everyone said, wow, this is his moment. This is his time. This is where he takes the ascendancy, goes all the way up to the top, becomes the receiver at LSU we always want him to be. Not thinking he'd be number 1 or number 2 guy, but a guy who would get a lot of reps and a lot of snaps and a lot of catches, right? Some touchdowns here and there. And, I mean, he threw some touchdowns at the end of the season. But, no, I think he dropped more passes than he caught touchdowns, Jontre Kirkland. And so this game can be very deceiving. Very, very, very deceiving. I mean, there's no sacks. The sacks are basically you run up to the guy, and he's down. So like a lot of this is about implied things. And so that's why I try and stay away from more of the implied things, like the line play. There's a lot to take from the line play until that final moment. But the pressures, the intensity off the edge through the middle, it still has a lot to be analyzed over. And I think you saw LSU were deeper than we thought up the gut. LSU have a lot of beef through the middle. We even saw Big Taiji Hill getting some reps. We saw a lot of special teams work early in the game. Kind of interesting there with Javen Nicholas, Gregory Clayton Jr. looking reliable, but not much else was there. And, I mean, in the end, as long as they just give the ball to the offense and just don't screw it up, I don't really give a damn. I really don't care. I mean, 2019 LSU only had that one special teams touchdown through Micah Baskerville. They didn't need it. This offense could be extremely potent. Just give them the damn ball. Set them up at the 25. Just give them the damn ball. And, back to the defensive line, I loved what I saw from not only Braden Swinson, who actually kind of sacked Ricky Collins right in front of Brian Kelly. And looked good, with some edge pressures and rushes. But Ogie Ogofo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Ogofo or Ogofo. Ovie Ogofo, number 17, was constantly showing that he's a backfield menace. He looked incredibly fast, really agile. I loved what his moves were. His hands, the chop that he's got, the swim, the duck, the little spin, the shimmies. Everything he was showing, the move wise off the edge. I just 2 thumbs up. I mean, what a great transfer from Brian Kelly to bring in Ovie Ogofo. Because, I mean, yes, we needed bodies there, but it wasn't just getting some live bodies. It was, we need quality live bodies. This is LSU football. This is LSU. We don't screw around with this crap. With just getting some guys in there and just throw it at them. Put some guys out there. This is about LSU looking like they're going to win a championship. And that's a team out there that I just saw that looked like they could win a championship this season. That sounds crazy to be saying that this early. That sounds like it could be hyperbolic. I really don't care because that's what I just saw. I saw a team that looked a lot better than last year. And last year we won 10 games, just so you remember. Some of my notes that I got from here was, big play potential all over the field with the receivers. Kyle Parker, I think he only had 1 catch, but showed his speed with that catch. Landon Ibieta, once again, someone no one was talking about. Someone most people probably didn't even realize still existed on the roster. And he just goes clinically off against Denver Harris 1v1, and then going through Ryan Yates and a few other defenders that are no scruffs. Brilliant play from him. And, Denver Harris struggled today. I saw him allow, I think it was 3-4 catches, including some big plays. Some big plays down the field. Very strange. Very strange because Denver Harris, most are thinking, that guy's going to be a starter, and I think he still probably is likely to start. But there's just some busts there. I mean, Gray Brooks Jr. too. There were some busts from him today. And then I really did not like what I saw from him where he made the tackle on Kyron Lacey, where he just like dragged him and just, really made sure he got him down to the ground hard, out of bounds, like 5 seconds after the whistle was blown. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? I would literally have pulled Greg Brooks out of the game right then and been like, dude, not only are you coming back from an injury just barely, what are you doing trying to injure a guy who might be our third best receiver on the team? Come on, man. Like, what are you doing? It was reckless play, but outside of that, we really didn't see anything that really troubled me out with how the team was playing regarding that. Jaden Daniels was on fire. Absolutely efficient. 1 incompletion through the entire first half. Efficient, precise, confident with the football. Looks like he's actually trusting his receivers for once. It's very impressive to see him trust his receivers, deliver the football, and just get these guys the ball so that they can make a play. Get these guys the football quick enough so they can make the play. This was the offense we wanted to see all last season. A quick passing offense. Just 5 yard out, get the ball to the guy. Little quick hitch, get the ball to the guy. Little quick slant, get the ball to the guy. Mesh concepts, mesh routes, over the middle. And then you burn them deep. You've been wearing them out, working them left, right, center, back and forth, and then you burn them over the top. That's the potential this offense can have. That's the potential of this offense. It's okay, buddy. He's getting nervous. He thinks he's gonna fall. You're chilling. This was a lot. I mean, I understand that Mason Taylor wasn't there, and I get he's a big part of the offense that they love to feed. But what we saw today, why would you go away from that? Mason Taylor being there or not? Why would you tempt that? Because what I saw today was a team that, whether it's Jaden Daniels or Garrett Nussmeier, who's the quarterback, it's almost an infinite amount of big play ability from this offense, from the passing game. Just on fire. And they were even throwing it to the backs. You saw Trey Holly catch a touchdown out of the backfield. Just really strong play from Jaden Daniels today. From Garrett Nussmeier as well. Just very, very confident quarterbacks. Very precise, very elite today because they're just letting it come to them. They weren't forcing anything. Garrett Nussmeier used to force the ball into places. I haven't seen him force the ball except for that interception against Georgia in a long time. I mean, this is a guy who's really improved big time doing what he's doing. Charles Turner is always dancing, that man. See, here we go. Here's that touchdown pass. Here's that touchdown pass from Jaden to Malik. Just perfect touch right there. Perfect touch. So, yeah, it looks like our first string. Let's see what our first string offense and defense were. Okay. So it looks like our first string offense. Of course, Jaden Daniels at quarterback. Of course, Noah Kane running back. Malik Neighbors out at receiver. Kyron Lacey at receiver. Can't tell. Ah! Stupidly just exited the stream. So yeah, it looked like we had Noah Kane, Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Kyron Lacey. I can't tell who the hell is at tight end. That's what's really annoying me right here. Get kind of close up here to the TV. Oh. Let's see who the hell we have. And then we'll go through the defense as well. You're okay, buddy. You're okay. Okay, let's see what we got. I hate that. It freezes. Okay, we got Emory Jones, Miles Frazier, right to left. Emory Jones, right tackle. Miles Frazier, right guard. Marlon Martinez starting at center. Garrett Dellinger at left guard. Left tackle, Will Campbell. Now, who is to his left? I'm kind of struggling to get that. You got Malik. It was Giovanni Peterson, who was our walk-on starting at tight end. That's fantastic. I love that. J.K. Johnson beaten for the touchdown at corner. He's there. You got Sage Ryan. Harold Perkins, of course. Let's go back to this and get the whole thing. Sorry, this is annoying me. Wish you could just give us a list, right? Okay, we got Ovi Agufu. We got... Who the hell is 24? All right, Zy Alexander is starting out there. You're okay, buddy. So you got Zy Alexander and J.K. Johnson on either side at corner. You got Harold Perkins, West Weeks, and Omar Spates at linebacker. Ovi Agofo, Jacobian Guillory, Parashand, Sage Ryan at nickelback, or sorry, safety. My son's dying over there. You dying, Sagey? You dying? So yeah, kind of interesting, kind of transfer heavy as far as like starting the lineups. Kind of transfer heavy. And Zy Alexander, you know, that's something that Sage Ryan told us yesterday in an interview with us, that he's someone that he would see out there, and that's someone he was like. And Greg Brooks Jr., that's the other safety. So you got safety, Sage Ryan, Greg Brooks Jr., Omar Spates. Okay, now I got a good look of everything. Okay. So that starting lineup for LSU's defense: Savion Jones, Parashand, Sage, you're all right. You're okay. Toviano is out there. So Toviano at nickel, Greg Brooks Jr., Sage Ryan at safeties, Omar Spates, West Weeks, Harold Perkins at linebacker, Up front, you got Savion Jones, Ovi Agufu, Parashand, and Jacobian Guillory. And on the outside, you got J.K. Johnson and Zy Alexander. Okay, that's the starting lineup right there. Safeties, Sage Ryan, Greg Ricks Jr., nickelback, Javian Toviano. Front, you got linebacker West Weeks, Harold Perkins, Omar Spates. The front, you got Savion Jones, Parashand, Jacobian Guillory, and Ovi Agufu. There he is, tracking Jaden Daniels down right there. Jaden Daniels really was not going to escape that. Like if Ovi Agufu's like capable of selling out there, ready to sell out and just attack Jaden Daniels right there, lower body to the ground, Jaden Daniels isn't going to escape. Because the body's going to get wrapped around the legs, and then that weight is going to make it drop. It's going to be like a little anvil there, just plummet. See, that's what I love to see from this offense. This offense constantly had receivers coming in motion across the formation right when the snap is being called or right after. Absolutely sexy. Absolutely love it. There wasn't enough motion. There wasn't enough movement in last year's offensive scheme. This is exactly what you want to see. When there was movement, we absolutely destroyed teams offensively. Florida comes to mind. Alabama comes to mind. Purdue comes to mind. So here we are. Sagey boy, you're okay. See, that's an interesting formation right there. We took Kyron Lacey from outside, motioned him as an auxiliary tight end. He made the nice block. Jaden Daniels made the throw incomplete, though. You didn't really see much from the running backs today. We did not really throw the football much at all. We did not really run the football much at all. We were just throwing the ball left and right and center. I love it. And you know what that might point to is that LSU's offense did not want to show anybody their rushing game, their rushing schemes. That's what it looks like to me. Nice play from Sage Ryan to break up that pass. Just 1 second. My own Sage might need my help. What's going on? Tell everybody what's going on. Tell everybody why you're upset. Huh? He wanted to see Ty G. Hill make a sack. That's why he's pissed. Did you want to see Brian Thomas Jr. catch 2 touchdowns? Huh? He only got the 1. He's just not cooperating. You're not feeling good, huh? See, I feel bad for Chris Hilton Jr. today. Chris Hilton Jr. had at least 7, 8 targets today and didn't make a single catch. He dropped one that was right through his hands, and then I think the other 5 or 6 were completely uncatchable. Completely uncatchable. And he had a ton of targets. They were trying desperately to get Chris Hilton Jr. the football. Desperately. He had at least 2, maybe 3 long bomb chances. And one pass was completely off. The other, he let the ball go right through his hands, right through his fingertips. But mostly what we saw were uncatchable balls his way that just asked far too much of Hilton Jr. As fast as he is, as good as he is with the hands, it was frustrating to not see what he can do. Frustrating because he got a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities, just didn't really make much of it because passes weren't there. Just the accuracy was off. Throwing to the outside, the accuracy kind of was a lot more off than throwing into the interior of the field, but that's to be expected. That is where it is easier for corners and DBs to cover. It's easier for them to get in front of the ball. There's Jaylen Brown, who just came back from a hamstring injury. See, I love that play, even though it's like only a 5-yard little dump off that doesn't get in the end zone. You see Nussmeier go through like 4 different reads there. Goes from right to left to middle, and then bam. His first read is 83. Roll out to Jackson McGowan into the flat. Doesn't see him. Sees him. It's not there. Doesn't hit him. Looks elsewhere. Doesn't see it. It's not open. The windows are closing. Sees Javen Nicholas. Boom. Dumps it to him. Just a foot away from the end zone there. Nussmeier, with his reads, his progressions, it's next level. It would be a damn shame if we never saw Nussmeier start a full season at LSU. Be a damn shame. That's all I'm saying. Not making a political comment about whether Jaden Daniels should be our quarterback or not. I'm all in on Jaden Daniels. I'm simply saying the guy who's behind him is more than capable of fulfilling that role and starting for LSU. Loved what I saw from Garrett Nussmeier today. And he's never going to be afraid to just throw it deep. He's never going to be afraid to uncork it. He's not a conservative quarterback. He's not a Ronald Reagan type quarterback. He'd be like a Bernie Sanders type quarterback. That's how liberal he is throwing the football. I mean, he's willing to throw that ball at any point, any time when he sees that it's open, because he believes he can make every throw. And I mean, he's damn near shown that he can. Jerry W says, hello from Kentucky. Go Tigers. What's up, Jerry? How you doing? What's up, Jerry? Did you enjoy that spring game, my brother, my bluegrass brother? Sorry if you hear the background noises. That's my son playing away. He's looking at me like going, Dad, what the hell are you doing? I don't know if you can see, but I have a little injury in my mouth. I'm not going to point to it. You've probably seen it. About 3 weeks ago, probably 4 weeks ago, this little guy took his giant skull and went, I was holding him really close, and I had all these things in my hands, and I'm like, let's change the channel or something, I think I was changing the channel on my day off with him. And I was in a very vulnerable spot for this, okay? He stares at me and goes, oh! Like he's literally like so happy he's just got to headbutt me in the face, right? He literally headbutted me right here as hard as possible. Right in these front teeth. I mean, my gums are still getting over the bruising 4 weeks later. Still swollen, still sore, still pain down in my mouth. That's why there was some times I wasn't doing any live streams or anything, because I could barely even talk. And if I could, it hurt to do it. So the idea of doing this for an hour, my God, might as well have put a gun in my face. It's very strange because I go to Louisiana and everything looked fine. Everything was okay. Everything healed. But I came back, okay, a day before a big interview this week, brushing my teeth, and it breaks off. Yep, it broke off. And it's all from this little guy smashing the hell out of it. And the tooth was trying to survive as long as it could, but it 3 weeks was as long as it could take after a saging, He just bashed the living hell out of me. with that. I mean, like, he really hit me as hard as the worst place, the worst timing, the worst like impact. Like, he was okay. He was fine. He was laughing. It was bizarre. I really thought he still was not all right because I literally was double over in pain. Like, I literally could see lightning. Like, I'm not joking. That was probably one of the worst pain things I've felt in a long time. Just the mouth, the teeth. When you get hurt there, it does something to your entire body. I feel like it just, you feel like shit, and it takes a while to get over it. So yeah, if you see that little injury, yeah, it's funny. It sucks. There's nothing I can do about it. So we're not going to let that stop us. We can just change our name to Cletus, and or maybe audition for some like roles in those commercials about don't do meth kids, stuff like that. We can do some like anti-meth commercials with our injury. So we can really do some greatness, do some great for the community because of this injury. So it's actually a great thing. Just kidding. No, it's not. And it sucks and it's painful. And this little dude, this little monster who is just like wanting to play for LSU so bad, he had to hit me in the face. Huh. You were like, Daddy, take me back to Louisiana. Huh. Boom. Crazy little dude. I'm going to call him a crazy little bastard, but the dad's right here, sadly. From this game, I mean, I don't know about you, but I felt this from the spring checkup article that we wrote before the spring game. And that's an article that is still just as meaningful, just as relevant now, and probably will be for the next 3 months as it was, 4 or 5 days ago when we posted it. It's got just about every damn name in that entire roster on it. Overview of LSU's roster and how deep we actually are. It hit me in the face like how deep we were. The article started off by saying like, we're worried about depth, we're worried about veteran leadership. We lost these veterans, but if we have a wrong answer, some of these places, oh, that's the wrong answer. That's not the guy for that position. That's not the guy. He's not fulfilling his duties. He's not working in that role. Then we got like 10 other options. We're going to figure it out in these positions for LSU this season. I feel like we just have so many different bodies, so many different top talents on this roster that a lot of people aren't even aware of. A lot of people aren't even thinking about. A guy like Landon Ibieta wasn't even talked about this entire spring, except for maybe some niche fans who wanted to see him. And then he does a play like that. Just one second. Come here. So, I really love what I've seen from this LSU team because we're using the depth in the right way. There's so much depth, but like there's so much uncertainty too. There's a lot of guys that we don't know exactly what we're going to get out of. We don't know exactly what they're going to be able to give this team. But just the mere fact of their existence, the mere fact that they've stuck it out with this team, the mere fact that they're there, that they have gone through another offseason with Jake Flint physically. They've gone through another season mentally through the Brian Kelly effect. I just think it's going to have a big impact on this team, on, what this team needs. We've got a lot of young talent all over the place. What this team needs are veteran leaders. Veteran leaders, Sage. We need veteran leaders, right? Please don't touch my mouth again, buddy. Please, you're giving me flashbacks. You know what? I think we need to pause this, and I think we're going to do a part 2 of this later, because I can't in good conscience force you to listen to my baby. you come here for LSU content. Not for Sage content. As cute as he is not the reason you're here. We will be back on this evening for around hour, 2 hours, however long you guys want us to be on. We are going to be back on 7 p.m. tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Central Time. 8 p.m. Central Time, we will be back on tonight. And you won't have to deal with a Sage. Let me put this on the thing. We just put this thing on the thing so that there's a thing so that you know when the thing is for the thing. Thanks everybody for watching. I know you're watching, Jamer. We love you, Jamer. And I screwed up yesterday. Whitney is Whitney Elice. Is that how you pronounce it? I think it's how you pronounce it. Whitney Elice. She had questions for Sage Ryan. And I did not get those questions to Sage Ryan. I feel terrible. That was my mistake. And Whitney, you're awesome. You're a really damn good friend. An absolute grade A Tiger. Can't wait to meet you. And thank you so much for your support and for your friendship. And I cannot wait to go to an LSU game with some of you guys like Whitney, Nurse Court. You know, of course, Jamer A. Diesel, if he'll ever show his face in the flesh. Don Goddamn Cannon. Sweet Louis Corona. Harold Hibbard. I mean, there's so many of you. Brandon Cox. There's so many of you. Jason Kellogg. Mr. Nicky Scuffles. I mean, the Big Chocolate Dipped. Josh Guillory, my second favorite firefighter behind my grandfather. Rest in peace. T-Ray, my man. Tony fucking Two Bets, a.k.a. the athletic director himself. Woodward himself, the AD. You won't understand that joke unless you're in that group. I'm sorry. Drunk Les, a.k.a. Drunk Brian Kelly, our main man, and someone who's really been an incredible friend the last year to me, Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller. Absolute badass. Love that dude. Sarah Johnson. Sarah freaking Johnson. Absolutely love her. All of you, I hope there a long list of these people can join us on the show. You know, Denise Yongay, of course. Leslie Dupree, Scott Doty. You know, there's so many people who have, Tommy Poole. There's so many people who've really been just awesome to us. Fantastic to us. Have supported us like crazy, have been really loyal, fiercely loyal. And they've been very patient with us with things like, you know, we're stuck with our boy. What can we do? We have to do this recording. We wanted to do this recording. We should do this recording. We did it. He's with us, and you guys followed us along this whole way. I really appreciate it. I thank you for that, and it is not lost on me. As this becomes more professional, as this becomes more, I gain more experience. I get better at doing what I'm doing. I think you'll notice that. And I think you'll understand and notice that, like, hey, he's putting in the time, the effort, and the work to get better at this every time. And we're not going to stop doing that. That's what this is our passion. This is our life, career goal that we want to really sign, seal, and deliver. My goal is really just so that Chelsea can stay home, make enough money so that Chelsea can stay home with Sage. That is it. I don't want a Maserati. I don't want a Scarface-sized pile of cocaine on a table. I don't need an Uzi with a, sterling silver silencer. And I don't need weekends in Monaco. I just want Chelsea to be able to be the mom that she wants to be and to have the peace of mind of kind of doing whatever she wants. That's what I want. And thank you all for helping me try and realize this dream of covering LSU every damn day. You know, that's what we want. We want to deliver you guys the best content, and we want it to be as visceral as possible. Sometimes that might include some of our own personal life in the thing, but we try and keep that at an absolute minimum. Everybody, check us out tonight, 8 p.m. Central Time, for the second spring recap show. We went through a lot of it here, but you're going to want to watch that second one because it's going to have film recap. We're going to go through the film of the show. The film of the scrimmage. We're going to go through a lot of the stats of the scrimmage. There's going to be a lot more information that we can get our hands on, a lot more information, a lot more quotes from the parents, from the players, from coaches. We're going to be talking to recruits as well. So, right on cue, our dog just goes crazy too. It's just, check us out at 8